morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Becky D, live in the morning, 5 days a week at 7 a.m. You guys, this week, as always, we are dealing with a topic, and we're talking about that same old BS, right? And I haven't said the word yet, so I'm doing good. That means nobody has made me mad. But today we want to talk about how fools rush, but some just move slower, okay? So I was actually inspired by this, by looking at a group of people, right? And I noticed just how some of them moved. Okay. They were very, like quick to do things and it got them in a certain situation. And some people, it just took them a little bit longer because I don't want to say they was mentally challenged because they're not. What they did was actually very, very, very like criminal mind. But they just, took a while to get to the result that they did. Okay. Now, I know you've heard the expressions that fools rush in love and stuff like that, which is very, very true. But sometimes some fools don't rush in love. It's a slow love. And before you know it, it's you in a whole, downhill spiraling marriage that you never saw wasn't gonna work out from the jump anyway. It happens, right? But will we allow it to continue to happen? One thing that I noticed is that a lot of people who do foolish things never like to take responsibility. I really wish I could remember what I was watching the other day that pretty much summed it up. These people kept arguing and bickering about the same thing, and they started talking in circles. And the guy like broke it down to him. He was like, if you continue to do the same thing and expect different results, you're gonna hit a wall of insanity. And the guy just kept arguing with him because he didn't want to be heard, right? So, in the given state of, America right now, of how we're looking, ain't looking too pretty. But right now, we have a lot of foolish and unfortunately idiotic things going on and occurring. All because fools want to rush, right? If you look at our current health problem in America right now, a lot of rushing, okay? I've talked about it before, living in a microwave society, especially a microwave generation, and like the generation after that is instant. So everything is instant. I saw a commercial the other day that had quick fries on it. Y'all, fries don't take that long to make. You fry it or bake it, air fry it, whichever way. Even air fry is like 15 minutes. I really wanted to go and obtain a pack of these quick fries to see exactly how quick they are and what methods they're using and what's actually inside of them, right? So what people are not really understanding, is that quick and fast is not always good. If you're an athlete, it is great, right? You were able to get your time down by milliseconds. It's just stuff like that. That looks good, right? Especially being an athlete. But being an everyday American citizen is pointless. It's useless. Why are we even worried about it? Quick, speed, not good. All right? If that was the case, for those who read the Bible, right, he would have done it in a day and not 7. You got to understand the process that some things need to take in order to mature. A lot of our fruits and vegetables are being quickly processed. Yes, the word is processed. It's not grown, it's not cropped or anything like that. It's being pumped out at record speeds. And now to a point where if you go to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, your seeds will tell you if it's an organic seed or a genetically modified seed. You shouldn't have to say that. Growing up, I don't remember seeing any of that stuff, okay? But now that's something that you have to differentiate and be told, like, hey, oh no, you're getting the non-organic stuff, by the way. Hope you don't die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it kind of feels like to me. It's not the case, but I'm just saying that's how it feels. So we look for that instant stuff, right? When I get that bag of quick fries, I'm really going to do some investigating because none of that sits right with me. It's a potato. It really doesn't take that long to cook when you cut it. The smaller potatoes take even less time. Like, y'all, are we that impatient? Seeing people at stoplights, right? Just ready to honk on that horn like, yo, let's go. dude, calm down. What are you in a rush to? Now, if it's a medical emergency, I get it. But at the same time, will it not be the same amount of weight if you rushed there or if you didn't? Your child is in labor. Is that child still not going to be born? Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it. It's the urgency. It's the height of the moment. It's the adrenaline running. But sometimes we just do need to slow down and just take a minute. Now, some people, they go about things very slow, okay? Those of you who like to inebriate yourselves to a point where your body starts moving at slow paces, sometimes you still do stupid stuff, all right? Not everything is quick. Some people take their time and manipulate a person to the point where they don't even know who they are anymore. Some people slowly withdraw transactions from your account where you don't even see it. Some TV shows nowadays really point on it. They were like, oh no, well they had, 35-cent transaction here, $1.35 there. And it was like, why are you focusing on the smaller payments? He was like, oh, that's the ones you want to focus on because that shows different things. I got upset with my bank not too long ago because I was in a store. Nope, better yet, the first time it happened, I was at one of those vending machines that got the tap to pay now. Very convenient for me. I don't have to carry around change. And I was getting ready to, put in my selection and it said decline. And I was like, dude, it's literally like $1.10. What is it declining? Like, I got more than that in there. Like, I'm so confused. So I just, got frustrated, didn't even try it again, used another card, got what I wanted. 5 minutes later, I got a phone call and it says, hey, with the bank and wanted to call and verify a few things. And I said, okay. They called me, and asked me all the questions to get me past the security point. And they were like, were you trying to make a transaction of, I think it was $1.10 because, like the service charge. And I was like, oh yeah, that was me. And so they was like, oh, well, we declined it because of fraudulent activity. But you're good to go and you're able to retry that purchase. Back of my head, I'm like, that was $1.10. When that $1,000 payment hit my account, y'all didn't think that's suspicious. Like, I was really upset, right? But then I had to think about it. They know the mind of a lot of slow fools out there these days, right? And I'm not talking slow, how some people will call people retarded and all these things, because those are not proper terminologies to use, and they're mean and very distasteful. I will never use the word retarded or slow in that capacity at any time. I barely use that word, the R word that I just said twice, that I'm not going to say for a third time. I do not use that word at all. If it is, if it's pertaining to someone who is mentally challenged, I will say the word mentally challenged if I do not know their condition. Okay. So let's make sure we refrain from saying words that people find offensive. That's just being kind and courteous, right? But I got mad at my bank, right? Because of the whole ordeal. So then it happens again. I was making a small transaction. I can't remember how much it was, but it was like under $5. Decline. I was like, are you serious? I've just forgotten the whole vending machine incident. But this time I finally get a text message and it says, was this you? And it gives me the location and how much it was. And I said, yes. And I was like, okay, thank you for verifying. You are now free to use your card. And I was like, but the $900 transaction that just hit my account. But then again, I had to remind myself. So when they called me another time about a small transaction, and I just talked with them, I was like, why do you guys never red flag my larger charges? And they were like, oh, that's not what we're really focusing on right now. Apparently there's a lot of transactions going on that's in small increments, and people are having cases of fraud. So I was like, I really appreciate all that you do. I just wanted some clarification why the big charges aren't being flagged and why the little ones are being stopped. The only downfall is when you're sitting in a checkout line, it feels kind of embarrassing, but then you kind of got to remind yourself that, no, I actually have the money. It's just my bank is going to keep stopping these transactions. It happened at a Food Lion one time, and I legit just looked at the young lady. I was like, if you give me a second. But I was like, you know what? I'll just use another card. It's okay. I'm really about to start carrying cash again because I can't make this up. Like, they keep stopping my small transactions. And I want to tell them, I will notify you. Trust me. If fraudulent activity is happening on my account, I will definitely let you know all the red flags. But the slow rate that some fools move in is just redonkulous these days, okay? So you definitely got to keep that in mind. All right. So take your time wisely. Okay. Not foolishly. You can take your time and lose that weight, right? But don't do it foolishly, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm going to do this, just one thing to focus on today. Like today, I'm going to focus on my arms as my arm picks up the pizza and I eat it. Okay. No. That's doing it foolishly. You're going to take your time. You may focus on getting 64 ounces of water in that day and not 64 ounces of tequila. Whatever the case may be, that's what you do. All right. Take your time in a relationship. Okay. I reached out to one of my friends the other day and, I just wanted an update on their life. And I was like, well, how the relationship going? Boom. Had some ups and downs. Couldn't tell it, right? Because you never post the bad stuff on social media like that. And I was like, yo, that's rough, but continue to take your time and really get to know each other. Have all those difficult conversations. I have 100% faith that their relationship is going to be hella more successful than any relationship I've seen out there, okay? There's no need to rush into anything. You're not racing against any clock that we have, all right? 30 is not the age that you need to have kids by and start a family. If you started at 50, great. To me, you have more time with that kid. Whatever your time is, that's your time. Don't try to rush it, all right? I was going to forever be the single auntie with no kids, and I got fur babies, right? Like... Where has the time flown? But what I'm saying is, don't rush. Take your time and take your time wisely. Okay? That's all I'm saying, and that's all I'm going to say today. You guys, as always, my name is Becky D with Becky D in the Morning, and I do hope that you all have a great day today, and I'll talk with you all tomorrow morning.